telling me I'm just bait.
She's sitting there telling me I'm just bait. Sitting there, she didn't wanna know, now I'm just bait. Sitting in the trap, I'm just paid. You doing college, EMA. I've been in a row from early. Trapping was a part of my DNA.
Hello and welcome to my channel Sideline Hands, and in this video we are going to take a look at the Liverpool vs Chelsea match. Absolute bonkers, totally open game, 8 goals. So let's look at the starting lineups. Before going to the starting lineup, guys, shout out to my brother Vedanta for helping me out with this video. Now let's go and check out the starting lineups. Klopp with his 4-3-3, Naby Keita got a start. Lampard with the same 3-4-2 as the FA Cup semi-final, with Kepa in between the sticks in place of Willy Caballero, and Pulisic on the bench because of a knock. Before going into the analysis, please hit the red color subscribe button, drop a like, and now let's go and check out how each team played with the ball. Chelsea knew that Liverpool front three will go narrow and the fullbacks will bomb forward on the wings, so they opted for a 5-man defense and used their wingbacks to stretch the play and look for crosses. You will see that every time Chelsea went forward, the wingbacks will occupy the widest positions on the pitch, giving the width to the team and also putting in crosses from their average positions. You can see how high they were in the game. Also, they made it count by putting in crosses. They put more crosses than Liverpool, as you can see from the passing stats. Not many teams do very often against this Liverpool team. Also, they would look to switch the ball from one side of the pitch to other quickly in order to catch the Liverpool defense off guard. You could hear in the game that they were often shouting, "Switch, switch, switch." In fact, the first Chelsea goal came from a quick switch of the ball. Kovacic switched the ball from the crowded left side to the right. As we saw that Trent isn't marking Mount well, but Mane is keeping an eye on Reece on the right. So he again switches the ball left to Mount. Mount had the time to take it on his preferred right foot and put in a cross. Giroud finished off the cross with a tap in. One of the other 2 goals came from an individual brilliance of Captain America, Christian Pulisic, taking on 5 Liverpool players, wriggling through and putting it on a plate for Tammy Abraham. A simple tap-in goal for Tammy. The third came from the miscommunication of Joe Gomez and Van Dijk. They haven't looked as solid, especially after Liverpool wrapped up the title. But what a finish, guys, from Pulisic, just brilliant. Let's just appreciate the finish at first. Wish he was fit enough to start the game, guys. It would have been a totally different story if he'd have started the game. Liverpool did everything what they stand for. We'll go through their performance and see their features one by one. First, we will look at this perfect gegenpress goal, a trademark of Jurgen Klopp's tactics. Azpi is pushed into a corner with no option but to opt for a long ball. The long ball finds Virgil van Dijk. The ball is played towards Keita. Willian tries, but Keita takes the ball again. Here you have to give kudos to Klopp for the desire he puts into his players, the desire to win the ball back as soon as possible. And the move is crowned by an outstanding finish from Naby Keita. The whole move just took 8 seconds from Azpi's long shot to Keita's finish. This is what Klopp stands for. This is what gegenpress is all about. What a goal, guys. The 5th goal of Liverpool was again a trademark of Jurgen Klopp. It took them just 10 seconds from Mane starting the counter from the edge of his box to Ox firing it into Kepa's net. This is what Klopp's heavy metal approach stands for, totally ruthless. The 4th goal was another of Liverpool's well-known features, the brilliance of Trent Alexander-Arnold's crossing. Beautiful cross. Firmino just had to put his head there. He did, and finally scored a home goal in the title-winning season. Also in front of Klopp. What a bonus. Even though Chelsea had a cross-heavy approach for this game, still Liverpool fullbacks were in the top 3 crossers of the ball. Apart from that, Liverpool's dynamism and fluidity in positioning, especially when maneuvering the ball through the wide areas, was eye-catching. Salah, Trent, Gini would use triangles to keep hold of the ball and progress. Their positioning was brilliant. As you can see here, Trent was tucked in and was playing as an inverted fullback, becoming a part of the midfield, whereas Salah giving the width and Gini driving through the middle. On the other side of the pitch, there was Robertson, Mane and Keita forming similar triangles to progress the ball, and sometimes when they were overcrowded on the wings by opponents, Fabinho would join in as a passing option, and thus they would form a parallelogram, increasing the options for making the play more wide and more progressing. All in all, Liverpool had a very direct and clinical approach in this match. Now, let's analyze the Achilles heel of Chelsea, their abysmal defense. This season, Chelsea's defense has been good enough at all, and this outing was nothing different. Let's start with the goalkeeping and then we will go and see the outfield players. This is a 92nd minute free kick from Liverpool. The ball was put into the second post by Robertson, but Kepa was surprisingly motionless in the middle of the goal. That tells a lot. It might be a loss of concentration or motivation or confidence, whatever it is. Chelsea was lucky to not concede a sixth goal. Chelsea defenders were unsurprisingly shouting at Kepa after that. Apart from this instance, his positioning for the Ox goal was questionable. With better positioning, he might have had a better shot at stopping that. Overall, he didn't look very confident and commanding. Generally, in defense, the whole Chelsea team would fall back into a 5-4-1 shape. That's good for shape, but often the personnel weren't good enough. Rudiger was drawn out of the position many times, and his trackback lacked any kind of serious desire. Marcos Alonso had to cover for him often. And then there was Jorginho. To cope with Liverpool's dynamic midfield, you need a midfielder with heavy work rate like Conte. Jorginho doesn't have that. And Andy Robertson took the full advantage of Jorginho's lack of pace for their last goal. Also, compared to Kante, his lack of defensive awareness meant he couldn't intercept or get in duels as often. Giroud and Kovacic are clearly frustrated about that missed interception there. In fact, all of the midfielders in the game, including his teammate Mateo Kovacic, ranked above Jorginho in terms of ground duels. Lampard has got to find some solution to this under-par defense, guys. And the man of the match for today's match is Trent Alexander-Arnold. He had an assist and a brilliant free kick goal. This Cowser, the most Liverpool of all Liverpool players. Thank you for sticking to the end of the video, and if you noticed anything else tactically, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and bye guys. Bye bye.